Are they all just bugged? Yeah, they just randomly freeze. That's really weird. Hey guys, NPC here. In this video, we'll be discussing if the characters are worth pulling for. So we have Meru and Momiji, Cherino, and Marina. These banners will be going from February 26th to March 11th. Alright, let's start off with Marina. She is a frontal tank with piercing and light damage. Her EX skill is like a cone of AoE that pushes enemies forward. This recovery boost decrease is honestly not very relevant, but the 3 cost is really nice. As you can see in my previous video, I actually used her a bit to run some EX stages. Oh, no, was it EX? No, it was a challenge stage. It was like challenge 3. She's actually pretty useful, but the main idea of Mari is she's an undying evasion tank. So this skill makes her invincible for 22 seconds once she drops below 22 or 20% health. I think you can kill her if you instant nuke her though, so if the hit ends up being a fatal blow, I'm pretty sure Marina just still dies. So this is a thing to be wary of. She is an evasion tank with her increased evasion, and this skill that gives her evasion when she's using her EX skill. Is it just? Yeah, it's just using EX skill. So this skill is not always active. It is active when she's using her EX skill, which is nice. Her evasion stats pretty decent at 1303, and she's got more more defense than Tsubaki. I think Tsubaki has 88, but Tsubaki has more evasion. The difference is that she has no real heal, so when you're running her, her only survivability is this no retreat skill, which is very difficult to play around. Like if you're doing a total assault or a grand battle, she could randomly die, but her use cases are very good actually. So Marina's actually pretty good in joint fire drills whenever there's like a bunch of mobs to fight, and also in commissions, specifically the base defense. She's actually pretty decent for this because she can tank all the mobs and push them away. So overall, Marina's pretty decent as a tank. But if you need a tank, I think Tsubaki is most likely better for the most part. The light armor is actually pretty important though. Her main use cases, actually she could also be used in PvP. Let's hop over to JP real quick. Oh, Shun, hello. Alright, so here we are on JP. We're gonna go use her in PvP real quick because I felt like she's actually pretty decent in the current PvP terrain. So I've seen some comps where they run Marina, and it's actually pretty decent. Let's see. Yeah, so the current PvP stage favors her in JP, which I think Global should be getting soon. So if you want to prepare for PvP and you want to use her on like a defense team or even an offense team, you can consider pulling for her. She's pretty decent. I wouldn't say she's like really good, but she has really good uses. So let's see how she. Oh, I messed up. I lost anyways. Okay. Oh yeah, see, this guy's using her. Okay, minute's been up. Let's not mess this up. Hopefully Marina gets to show off how great she is. Alright, let's see, she pops off, and then she should push, yep, see, she's pushing their tanks away. And, you know, Miss Unethical goes off. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Iori? Okay, this is really close. Iori. Oh, clutch. Oh, that was close. Yeah, she did pretty, like, her damage isn't great, but she helped contribute to the kill, right? Iori basically got bullied. I think Iori killed her, though. As you can see, her invincibility didn't even pop off. So she can get killed out of it, which is something you need to worry about. But outside of that, she's pretty useful. Alright, now we're back on Global. Let's go over Cherino, the mustache lady. Cherino is mainly used for her sub-skill and her basic skill. Sub-skill giving you cost generation or recovery, and extra if you have Red Winter students. This is actually very useful for gaining cost. This skill combined with a Himari or a swimsuit Shiroko, and even maybe a New Year's Fuka, makes it so that you get cost really, really fast. And this skill is a very good debuff. You can use her in almost every grand battle or even total assaults. The crit damage resist is very helpful for a lot of characters, and there are times where you just throw her in just because you need the cost recovery and the crit resist. This EX skill is also a very good AoE for clearing area stages or even clearing like event stages and stuff like that. Overall, Cherino is an incredible character, and if you don't have her, she's probably a more important character to pull. Her damage isn't very important, even though the skill is pretty decent. Her overall like basics and stuff, because she's a handgun, generally isn't too strong. But Cherino as a character overall is very, very good. If you don't have her, you could consider pulling her. I don't know if I would, mainly because it feels bad to pull characters that are in column banner, but if you desperately need her bonuses and you're really into, let's say, total assaults or grand battles, pulling her is very useful. She's also similar to Marina in the sense that you can use her in missions, specifically the base defense, and joint fire drills. I wouldn't use her in PvP though, because in PvP it's all about nuking and getting good skills off and killing them like as fast as possible. Cherino's is just too slow. The 5 cost is too expensive. Oh, also I think this gets reduced by 1 cost. Oh, it starts at 7. Oh, if you're gonna use her for her EX skill, you'll want to level it up. If you're not going to, her basic and sub skills are the most important skills to level up. Back to Mari, or Marina. For her, I would level up probably her basic and enhanced skills. Let's see what the difference is. Yeah, you get a longer invincibility, which is nice. And these two are kind of synonymous. Like, these two are kind of equal. The EX skill I'd probably leave at least level 3. Anything more is if you want it. Mainly if you're like min-maxing for like PvP or something. Alright, now let's go on to the new characters. Momiji and Meru. What do we got here? Show me both? Okay, let's start with Momiji. She is a sonic damage dealer, heavy armor. Her gimmick is mainly about AoE. She's got a huge AoE in this skill. And she's got a decent steroid damage buff. This is also just a damage buff, and the skill... So this is what makes her AoE a lot larger, and also gives her a damage buff. I don't know how... Does this just last forever? I guess this lasts forever. If you were to pull for her, I would suggest don't pull for her, because she's a 2-star, as you can see down here. You'll get her just by playing the game. Like, whenever you pull for other characters, you'll get her. Don't worry about not getting her. You will get her, okay? 2 stars are very common. Now, how would you use her? Currently, there's not much content that requires sonic damage, right? So as you can see in this chart, sonic damage is neutral to normal and light armor. Sonic damage is resisted by heavy armor and is effective against special. Effective is essentially a 1.5 multiplier instead of a 2x multiplier. That being said, you can use her in probably like Peroro, Zilla. I wouldn't use her in Shirokuro or Gauze. Actually, Gauze, I would argue you could argue for her in Gauze. But there's a specific raid coming out soon called Myouki Kurokage, which is basically it's a cool fight. I don't want to spoil it too much. I do have some visuals of it, so I'll probably post it here. But you can use her for that fight. If you, for some reason, didn't pull Hanako, Momiji is a good alternative, although I wouldn't suggest pulling for her. And lastly, we have Meru, who is a middle damage dealer, or middle striker. It deals piercing damage with light armor. Okay, so Meru is interesting in the sense that she has a skill similar to Izna in this sub-skill, where every 3 normal attacks she will deal a nuke. I think she uses a handgun, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, she does use a handgun. Her main purpose is really just she does a lot of hits. All right, the skill applies a burn to a character and does up to 480 hits. Oh my god! And this also applies some pretty good debuffs and gives her more damage, right, with every hit. Basic skill is kind of the same thing. It's just a burn skill, and this skill is kind of boring. Meru is interesting in the sense that this is an expensive skill that targets one enemy, but the reason why she's pretty decent is because she's used in the Wakamo raid that will be coming soon. The Wakamo raid has a gimmick where in phase 2, it's a 2-phase raid, okay? In phase 2, you need to deal a certain amount of hits to increase the bosses, I think it was damage amp or it lowers their defense. It's one or the other. But it makes it so that they take more damage, which entails you to kill the boss faster. You can run it without Meru, but Meru makes it really easy. So this is why she's good. So if you're a Total Assault player and you're not and you kind of want the Platinum Trophy, you're gonna need Meru. If you don't want the Platinum Trophy, then you probably don't need Meru. I think, you know what's funny? You could use Neru instead, which is a free character. She's not here? Is she Gren? No, she's in Tactical, right? No, she's in Story. Yeah, she's in Story. So overall in this banner, I think the most valuable pickup is either Cherino or Meru. Marina is mainly PvP niche. I would pick her up for PvP if you really are going in that direction. But Cherino's probably the overall best character here. And Meru is very good if you need to progress your Total Assault teams. Most specifically for Wakamura Raid. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Oh, and subscribe.